ஒளி வீசட்டும், உலகெங்கும் ஒளி வீசட்டும். லோயோலாவின் ஒளி வீசட்டும், உலகெங்கும் ஒளி வீசட்டும். இளைய தீபங்களே, இந்திய தாய வழி இணையில்லாத அருட்செல்வங்களே, உங்கள் ஒளி உலகெங்கும் பரவட்டும், நிறையட்டும். லோயோலாவின் ஒளி வீசட்டும், உலகெங்கும் ஒளி வீசட்டும். நேர்மையின் பாதையில் சென்றிடுவோம், கடமையை கண்ணாய் செயல்படுவோம். நேர்மையின் பாதையில் சென்றிடுவோம், கடமையை கண்ணாய் செயல்படுவோம். அன்புடன் கூடிய அமைதியை நாடி அறத்தினை வளர்த்திடுவோம். லோயோலாவின் ஒளி வீசட்டும், உலகெங்கும் ஒளி வீசட்டும்.
The journey is never ending. There will always be growth, improvement, adversity. We just have to take it all in and do what is right, continue to grow, and continue to live in the moment. With these opening lines from the words of Antonio Brown, I extend my warmest welcome to our distinguished guests, the Jesuit management, staff, students, invited guests, and everyone present here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the award ceremony of Loyola Awards 2018. Let us begin today's gathering by listening to the music of the choir as they sing praises for the majesty of God to glorify our Creator. Request you all to kindly stand for the prayer song.
When I am down and all my soul so
I request the dignitaries to occupy the seats on the dais. The Indian tradition of lighting the Kuttuvilakku is done to furnish the light of knowledge and wipe away the gloom of ignorance. I invite Reverend Father Secretary, Reverend Father Principal, and Deputy Principal to accompany our chief guests, Mr. N. Ramachandran and Dr. Sureka Ramachandran, for the lighting of the lamp. For any organization, rewarding and recognizing its people is incredibly important. Loyola Award 2018 is a celebration of commitment, success, talent, and achievement. It also celebrates hard work, in turn making people feel appreciated and well respected. Loyola Award function is precious for all of us here at Loyola, and we are gathered here to make it more special and important. To welcome you all to Loyola Award 2018, may I now request Reverend Dr. A. Thomas, S.J., Principal, Loyola College, to deliver the welcome address.
Dear Reverend Father Rector, Shri and Ramachandran, Dr. Sureka Ramachandran, Deputy Principal and Secretary of College of Education, Dr. Susie Sebastian, all the Reverend Fathers, Vice Principals, Deans, and all the learned faculty members, the friends and family members of Shri and Ramachandran, beloved alumni, friends from press, my dear students, good morning to all of you. The goal of Jesuit education is the holistic formation of our students. Jesuit educational institutions structure their teaching and learning in such a way that this becomes a reality in the lives of our students. Loyola College, as a leading educational institution in this country, has a legacy of forming men and women who leave an indelible mark in all walks of life. Name any one field of activity, there will be Loyalites who will stand apart because of their excellence and commitment. Loyola Award was instituted to identify one such individual every year and honor him or her for their outstanding service to humanity. Today we have in our midst Shri N. Ramachandran, who has made a big difference in the lives of people who needed our support and accompaniment. Since we will be hearing more about his contribution to the larger society later, I shall leave them now. Shri N. Ramachandran was selected by the jury for this award last year, as he could not come during the college day to receive the award. Thus we have the function today to honor him and to appreciate him for all the service he has done to the humanity. Dear sir, thanks a lot for accepting our invitation to come and receive the award. Loyola is proud of your service to the humanity, and in honoring you, we celebrate men and women who dedicate their lives for a social cause. On behalf of the Jesuit management, staff, students, and the alumni gathered here, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. One of the important contributions of Shri N. Ramachandran is his work among the people with Down syndrome. When there was not much of awareness about the Down syndrome and not enough support system for people with Down syndrome, Mr. and Mrs. Ramachandran dedicated their entire lives for this cause. More specifically, Dr. Sureka Ramachandran, the better half of Mr. Ramachandran, dedicated her life for this cause. We have in our midst Dr. Sureka Ramachandran, the chairperson of the Down Syndrome Federation of India. Respected Madam, it is our honor and pleasure that you are with us today. We extend a warm welcome to you, Madam. We requested Dr. Sureka Ramachandran to share with us about Down syndrome and what we need to do with them when we have them with us, and she readily accepted this request. Thanks for accepting our invitation, Madam. Friends, we have with us Mr. and Mrs. Ramachandran's family members, friends, and their staff who are very, very significant to them. I understand his own daughter is here with us. Welcome to you. We thank you for your journey with these great people, and we are very happy you are with us today, and we welcome you all for this award function. Dear all, we have with us the rector of Loyola campus, whose vision is the driving force of this campus. He readily agreed to be with us on this day and give away the Loyola Award. Dear Father, we welcome you for this award function. Thanks for accepting our invitation. Let me have the joy of welcoming Dr. Susa Sebastian, the Secretary of College of Education, all the Jesuit fathers, deputy principals, vice principals, deans, and other officials of the college. Your accompaniment in this journey is always accepted and appreciated. Thank you for being with us today. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all the people from media for covering all our activity and projecting us in its right place. In our entire journey, Loyola Alumni Association has always accompanied us. We have in our midst the General Secretary of the Alumni Association, as well as other members of the Executive Commission of Loyola Alumni Association. My dear beloved alumni, we extend a warm welcome to all of you. Welcome. Dear students, we are happy that I'm happy that we have been picked up for this function for a purpose. Soon, most of you will be walking out of this campus into the world. You have a choice of leading a life that benefits none, or have the joy of lifting someone up in your own lives. Loyola is blessed to have produced thousands of students like you who are letting their light shine in this world. We welcome you to be part of this function so that you in turn will light another candle in your own lives. We extend a warm welcome to all the beloved students who have gathered here. You're most welcome. You can now clap. It's all for you. Life is a journey. When people of goodwill walk together, the journey as well as the lives of all becomes a joy. Together, we shall make this world a better place for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father. The co-founder and chairperson of the Down Syndrome Federation of India, Dr. Sureka Ramachandran, with a PhD in Cognitive Deficits and Depression in Down Syndrome from University of Madras, has dedicated her life to one vision: to improve the quality of life of persons with Down syndrome. When Bubbly Ramachandran, her daughter, was diagnosed as a person with Down syndrome, Dr. Ramachandran had to battle a situation of severe dearth of information and negative feedback and discouragement from doctors. Hence, she created the Down Syndrome Federation of India as a space where all necessary resources, such as guidance of specialists, allied health professionals, and therapists, were brought under one single roof. Dr. Ramachandran has authored 3 books on this topic, which are part of the curricula in various educational institutions. Through her extensive travel and research, she kept herself abreast of the developments in this changing scene of Down syndrome. Her contribution to the field of research in Down syndrome in the country is commendable. To her credit, she has won the Women of the Year Award in 1998 for outstanding work in this area, for the Sake of Honor Award from the Rotary Club in 2008, the International Association for Scientific Study of Intellectual Disability in 2009, and the Lifetime Achievement Award from IRC in the field of social work, presented by Her Highness the Maharani of Mysore in 2019. We are indeed privileged to have you in our midst, ma'am, to share with us through this special lecture on Down syndrome your extensive work and involvement to raise awareness amongst us in this socially relevant topic. We will now honor ma'am with a shawl, followed by this special lecture on Down syndrome.
Good morning. That could be louder. I'm sure you guys have more strength. You just had a tea break, so let's have a really big good morning. Say it again, good morning. Thank you so much, sir, for having us here and for giving me this amazing opportunity to talk about my favorite subject, Down syndrome. 40 years of an association with a subject. You guys only have 3 years of college, but I've been through this for 40 years, and interacting with persons with disabilities in various fields has given us today a different perspective. I'm still smiling after 40 years. I hope you finish your college and keep smiling. Will you smile? You already look like you have been through hell, okay? Smile. Okay, let me take you back in time. 1961. Can you remember that year? No. Well, it was in my neighborhood that a child passed away. No one answered our questions. Why? Why did this child pass away? They were hushed whispers, and I could gather only very few words. The child is retarded. She's contagious. And that's all we heard. 1981, 20 years later, my little one, Bubbly, was born. It was the happiest day of my life. We had an older son, Rahul, and now a beautiful little girl. My family seemed complete. Then came the harsh reality. The baby was visually challenged, and she may never see. All the doctors were poring over her, and they were discussing my little baby in the same hushed whispers I had heard in 1961. I felt I had delivered a 6-headed monster. After weeks of questioning, I was told that my child would never be normal. In the terms that they used in those days, it was very harsh. They said she was mentally retarded. My bubble burst. Friends, the birth of a child with a disability is a shock. No one, and I mean no one in this universe, is ready for a child with a disability. If there is one moment that gives you the biggest shock and the fear, it is to hear that your child will never be normal. Yes, my friends, we can adapt to a lot of changes. a change of house, a change of job, a failure in college. You can even adapt to a change of a partner. But when it comes to your child, there is one thing that happens. You get sucked into an abysmal pit. You really don't know how to deal with it. One is surrounded by guilt, dismay, fear, and what is it? My child was born with Down syndrome. What does Down syndrome mean? This meant that Bubbly had 47 chromosomes instead of the usual 46 that all of us have. So, our bodies are made up of cells, and every cell needs that 46 to make us function. This little child had one extra chromosome in every cell. So, what did that do to her? This causes the changes in a person's mental and physical ability. It is also associated with multiple health issues. They have certain features that make them look different. They were called Mongols in those days, till the Mongols rose up and said, stop, you can't call them Mongols. So we changed the word to Down syndrome after the scientist Langdon Down. Today, they were only living till about 10 years when they were, I'm talking about maybe in the 50s. Today, they're living much longer because of the health care. So why does this happen? You know what I was told? That I had sinned. It was my karma. There must be something wrong that I had done in my life to have a child like that. And I am sitting and thinking, what could I have done that made me have this child? Well, the questions that the doctors asked of me were very specific. Was I related to my husband? Was I ever exposed to race? Was I taking drugs? Was I an alcoholic? All this proved negative. So why me? This is the same question that every parent who comes to me for counseling asks me. Why me, Ma? Why me? What did I do wrong in my life that I have this child? If I had an answer, there would never be a child with Down syndrome. So I don't have those answers, but I can tell you how to deal with it. If we could trace the reason for this, we would not be having 30,000 children born a year in India. Every year we have 30,000 children born with Down syndrome, and 1 in 800. It could be anyone. We don't know the reason. Certain facts that I want to tell you as students about people with Down syndrome. That it is not a disease. It is not contagious. People with Down syndrome are not aggressive. Years ago, we thought they were going to pounce on us. No, they're not. They have the same emotions that you and I have. They love to be with people, and they love exhibiting their talent. They're very talented and excel in art, music, and sports. They love to be challenged, and they love to have friends and be praised just like you. So what makes them different? They take a little longer to understand what is expected of them. But once taught, they never forget. Not one doctor was ready to take up my daughter's case. They just said, go, take her home. She is going to die anyway. So what was I expected to do as a mother? Wait for her to die? No, that was not going to happen. 39 years later, my daughter still sits there in this audience challenging the world and telling them, I am here to stay. No doctor should ever tell you that your child doesn't have the right to fight. And she fought. She fought and she fought. She fought every ailment that they brought. Let me tell you how I dealt with it. Was it easy? No. It was a very unaccepting world. The world never wanted us. That you had produced something that was different, and different was not accepted. As a mother, I only knew one thing. Bubbly had vision issues, chest issues, multiple issues. I would deal with everything. If she could not see, I'd make sure she could hear me. And she used that as a talent. Having understood the value of all of that, today, every child who is born with Down syndrome in India receives our concern and care at birth. So we are giving them that attention at birth. So I'm traveling all the time, friends, but I love it. The most difficult time was when Bubbly went through depression. We assume that depression will not come to us. It can happen to anyone. But every doctor looked at me and said, she can't be depressed, she has Down syndrome. And that's the way she's supposed to be. They refused to treat her. I nearly lost my daughter. She was sleeping all the time, she lost interest, she did not want to be with us. And what happened was, she went to take her life twice. That's when I realized how valuable her life was. I went back to the university. She made me a doctor. I was not a doctor. She got me my PhD. And I owe it to my daughter to be my teacher. The world asked me, what do you do for your daughter? Nothing. She taught me everything I need to know. She taught me that you love me, Mom, regardless of how I am. And that's what your parents must be doing. Well, I did my PhD, and that took me 3 years. In those 3 years, I might have lost my daughter. I was just lucky. Today, doctors are taking the subject very seriously because I am fighting them. And they give a lot of respect to our people with Down syndrome. I am now standing here as Dr. Rekha Ramachandran because of my daughter, and I thank her very much for that. Being a mother was not easy. I fought all the odds, but this was not something that I did alone. I owe it to my friends, to my family, and to my husband to have supported me through all those tough years. And it wasn't easy, but I had really good friends. And all my friends are here, my family is here. My son was my biggest supporter. He grew up with her and taught her all the little nuances that you as siblings will be doing. That day I made a promise that no other parent would be in my shoes. And I have taken that very seriously. 36 years of my life I have spent trying to change lives. Today, Bubbly has proved a point by being a Bharatanatyam dancer. She speaks 3 languages. She is a proof that she can be a gold medalist in swimming and in running, and she excels in art. Friends, you want cards made? Please contact Bubbly Ramachandran. How can you make a change? Let's take a pledge today. Let's take a pledge that we will never ignore a child with a disability. You're walking down, you see a child with a disability. It's so beautiful. Just walk up to them. Say hello. They might be non-verbal. You've been gifted with the power of speech. Use it constructively. Go up to them, give your hand and say, let's play football. Let's play bat and ball. Let's play some music and dance. They'll be your friends for life. They are looking at you and wanting to be you. If you can, be their friends. That's all. They're looking for a buddy, and you are the guys who can be their buddies. Promise me you will be. Say, yes, I will. Louder, please. What makes them shrivel is when they are ignored. They just look at you and say, okay, so you don't want to be my friend? Don't do that. More importantly, today I want to tell you, respect yourselves. You have so much about you that you got to respect. And the fact that you are blessed with life, use that life in a meaningful way. Children, you are blessed and you have a future. Look around you. Look at this campus. Look at what you have as your teachers. You don't need much. You're the most blessed people in this world. But what I want to see is a change. And you can make that change, not us. Our time is getting over. You are the future of this country. You make the change that we are looking at. Lessons for today. Look around you. What a beautiful place. You only need to take a deep breath and say, am I a happy person? I love this college. I love my teachers. And realize your blessings. Enjoy now. Respect. Go home today. Promise me you will tell your parents, I love you, Mom and Dad. And I love you for what you've made me. I love you. I thank you. See the difference it makes. Your parents will be so excited. They've never said they love me. Today they're saying it. Say it. Say it before it is too late. And they deserve it. See the difference. On a parting note, I would like to say, at the end of your life, it does not matter how much money you have. It will not matter how big your house is. It will never matter which car you are driving. but it will matter that you made a difference in the life of one child. Make that difference. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
We thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful sharing, for creating a global voice, advocating for the rights and well-being of people with Down syndrome, trying to reach out to as many people as possible, and making us contribute in ways big and small towards this noble cause. I now request Professor Antoine Lebel, Vice Principal, Shift 2, to introduce our chief guest, Mr. N. Ramachandran, President, Asia Pacific Down Syndrome Federation.
Revered Father Rector, respected Father Principal, respected Deputy Principal, Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Shri N. Ramachandran, Dr. Shureka Ramachandran, Reverend Fathers, officials, HODs, faculty, alumni, friends and relatives of Sri Ramachandran, and my dear student friends, good morning. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce the Chief Guest, Sri N. Ramachandran, on this memorable Loyola Award 2018 function. We are honored this morning by the presence of Sri Ramachandran, President, Asia Pacific Down Syndrome Federation. Sri N. Ramachandran was the director of the India Cements Limited from 1989 and the executive director from 1994 to 2019. He was also the chairman of Results Investment Private Limited, which was indeed promoted by him. Along with his brother N. Srinivasan, India Cements Limited, Sri Ramachandran not only set up cement plants, but also acquired other cement units to enable ICL's vast growth. He was also responsible for setting up of a sugar plant in Mandya district, Karnataka. Sri Ramachandran has been the former president of the Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry. As a keen educationist, Sri Ramachandran, during his tenure in India Cements, ensured that all educational institutes run by the company achieved considerable success. Together with the institutes such as Shankar Institute of Polytechnic, Tirunelveli, and T.S. Narayanasamy Arts and Science College, Navalu, which are managed by India Cements Educational Trust, Sri Ramachandran ensured that all other institutions and schools under the trust were equipped with modern educational facilities. In recognition of his commitment to education, the government of Tamil Nadu appointed him as a syndicate member of the University of Madras for a period of 3 years in 2007. Since 1985, Mr. Ramachandran has been supporting financially the cause of persons with Down syndrome to ensure inclusivity in society for such persons in India and the world. He is currently the president of Asia Pacific Down Syndrome Federation. The Down Syndrome Federation of India was established by him in the year 1998. He actively supports Matru Mandir, an early intervention center and a skill development center for persons with Down syndrome ever since its inception in 1984. As a keen sports person, Mr. Ramachandran is actively associated with several sports organizations. In his capacity as president of Indian Triathlon Federation, Mr. Ramachandran pioneered, promoted, and popularized the comparatively new and grueling sports of triathlon in India from 1990. He was a founder member of Asian Triathlon Confederation and a vice president of ASTC for over a decade. He was also a representative of ASTC on the executive committee of the International Triathlon Union. He has been elected as vice president of the Association of Commonwealth Triathlon for a 4-year term from 2018 to 2022. As Secretary General of the Squash Racket Federation of India from 1996, he has been instrumental in making Chennai the squash capital of India and taking the sports to new peaks of excellence in India. He founded the Indian Squash Academy at Chennai, which today is acknowledged as one of the best centers for squash not only in India but also in the world. He has been a vice president of the Asian Squash Federation for 4 years and the president of Asian Squash Federation for 8 years. Mr. Ramachandran elected as president of the World Squash Federation in 2008, and he was the first Indian to become president of a world body for a sports which is recognized by the International Olympic Committee. He was also a member of Executive Board of Organizing Committee, Commonwealth Games 2018-2009. He was the former president of the Indian Olympic Association from 2014 to December 2017. He was also the vice president of Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu. He was a member of the International Relations Commissions of Association of National Olympic Committees from 2015 till 2018. He was a member of Advisory Committee of the Olympic Council of Asia from 2015 till 2019. Mr. Ramachandran was awarded the Olympic Order by the International Olympic Committee during their 129th IOC session in August 2016 at Rio de Janeiro for his services to the Olympic movement. He was also awarded the OCA Award of Merit by the Olympic Council of Asia at their General Assembly held in Da Nang, Vietnam in September 2016 for his outstanding contributions to Asian sports. He is a member of the International Relations Committee of the Olympic Council of Asia from 2019 till 2023. Mr. Ramachandran is the current president of Tamil Nadu State Olympic Association. He is the honorary consul of the Republic of Latvia for the consular district of Kerala and Tamil Nadu and member of the steering committee of National Foundation for Corporate Social Responsibility, which was constituted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs for a 3-year term with effect from 7/1/2019. Loyola College feels proud to honor such an able person with wide experience and greater contribution towards society, education, and sports. Thank you.
When the work of our lives illuminates the world around us, this beauty will always be appreciated and recognized and will draw more people towards us. To recognize one such individual, I invite Reverend Dr. Francis Xavier S.J., Rector, Loyola College, to read and present the citation.
Loyola Award 2018, presented to Shri N. Ramachandran. Shri N. Ramachandran, Executive Director, India Cements Limited, and former President, Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry, has manifested the finest values of maintaining human relationship, being a good Samaritan, and transforming the youth of India all through his career, acquired from his formative years at Loyola College in 1964 for PUC and later Anna University for BTech. His social consciousness is another vista in his kaleidoscopic career. He has been rendering a human service to the parents and the children with Down syndrome by setting up Matru Mandir, a center that has so far provided hope to over 4,000 persons with Down syndrome. As president of Asia Pacific Down Syndrome Federation, he has drawn the attention of the world leaders towards Down syndrome in Asian countries. In recognition of this commitment, Government of Tamil Nadu appointed him as the syndicate member, University of Madras. His interest in sports and games is beyond anybody's reach. Truly a patron, Shri N. Ramachandran has actively associated himself with several sports organizations, both national and international. Chennai is now the squash capital of India, thanks to his persistent effort. Not only making his dream come true in founding world-class squash academy in Chennai, he took squash to newer heights in India and to the level of Asian Games as well. Eventually, he was made president of World Squash Federation, a rare honor bestowed then upon an Indian. After a successful stint as president, Indian Olympics Association, he at present serves as vice president, Association of Commonwealth Triathlon. Shri N. Ramachandran has left an indelible mark on all that he has done during his career. He continues to motivate and inspire many others with his transformational leadership. Indeed, he is a rare blend of quality education and ripened experience. Loyola College, his alma mater, is proud of confirming Loyola Award 2018 on Shri N. Ramachandran, a people's man.
It is time now to honor our chief guest and present the Loyola Award 2018. I invite Reverend Dr. Susai Sebastian, S.J., Secretary, College of Education, to honor Sir with a shawl. Thank you, Father. Reverend Father Rector will now present the Loyola Award 2018. Dr. Melchias Gabriel, Deputy Principal, will hand over a fruit bouquet to our chief guest. I invite Reverend Dr. Francis Xavier, S.J., Rector of Loyola College, to felicitate the gathering.
Mr. and Dr. Ramachandran, Babli Ramachandran, Reverend Father Principal, Deputy Principal, members of the Jesuit management, family members and friends of the Ramachandran family, alumni members, faculty members, officials, and my dear students. On this day, when we honor Mr. Ramachandran, who has dedicated himself for the cause of children affected by Down syndrome, I very much think of the son of my close friend. I baptized him as a baby who has been affected by Down syndrome. Now he has completed his high school and is even going to work for 3 days a week. He is able to manage himself. Whenever I meet him and talk to him, I admire the maturity in his thinking and talking. Often, I wonder at his insight of life issues. We know and observe that Down syndrome affects people both physically and mentally, but to varying degrees and intensities. While some might be able to live mostly on their own, others might need help taking care of themselves. With timely diagnosis, intervention, and treatment, children with Down syndrome have very good chance of reaching their full abilities and live meaningful lives. We need to get into their world in order to understand and admire them. They also need acceptance and friendship, as Dr. Sureka Ramachandran mentioned in her lecture. And they want to grow with all as much as possible to be fully alive and lively. They want to move around with enthusiasm and energetic dreams for the future. We need to realize their ability to learn and to pick up skills at their levels. We could help them grow in their own way to lead as much as possible normal way, well integrated into the society. They expect that they are well received and recognized in the society. They too need friends to share their dreams and depression. The bottom line is that they want us to recognize their existence and their rightful space in the globe. They may not need sympathy, but synchronizing resonance of love and friendship. Having personal experience, the awardee, Mr. Ramachandran, has not only worked for the Down syndrome affected children, but has dedicated his life for their future. He makes use of his industrialist's influence and expertise to promote sports, especially triathlon and squash for the Down syndrome persons. Dr. Shureka Ramachandran, co-foundress and the chair of the Down Syndrome Federation of India, has relentlessly worked to raise public awareness on Down syndrome, which is not a disease but a genetic differentiation. Dr. Sureka has brought up her Down syndrome daughter Babli so well. Babli, 40 years of age, is a confident, friendly, and energetic person. Down syndrome has failed to dampen her spirits. In fact, she has emerged as an inspiration to many others who suffer her condition. In fact, Babli is a living testimony of Dr. Sureka's Herculean efforts. For Babli could sing, dance, speak, and could fend for herself in hygiene, could play keyboard, and has won a gold medal in swimming at the Special Olympics at Hyderabad. As a model of commitment and dedication to the affected in the society, we salute their service rendered to the Down syndrome children. As we recognize the noble cause of working for the Down syndrome affected, let us pledge ourselves to dedicate ourselves in solidarity with this great work of altruism, noble mission of other-centered. The growth of children with Down syndrome might be a bit slower, but they strike in us the feeling of hope. We need to understand their inner strength and their external need. For example, children with Down syndrome would learn better when they can see illustrations. These children, because their motor skills develop a bit slower, have difficulties with vocabulary and hence with language pickup. They might be in learning ability a bit behind the normal children, but eventually some Down syndrome children pick up as years go by. Their presence on the face of the earth, I think, is to make us realize how thankful we should be for being normal, and at the same time, we need to be convinced we are there to help others who need our help. Children with Down syndrome know and understand what it is to love and to be loved, and they invite us today to express our love for them concretely. Loyola College is happy to recognize Mr. and Dr. Ramachandran, for whom the focus of life purpose is the service of Down syndrome children. Let us assure them to follow their good example to reach out these needy children. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Today's event recognizes the extraordinary commitment and dedication demonstrated by Shri N. Ramachandran. Sir, we are delighted to have you address the gathering now.
Rector Dr. Francis Xavier, Principal Reverend Thomas, Deputy Principal Dr. Gabriel, Secretary Reverend Selvanayakam, students of the Loyola College, உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் இனிய காலை வணக்கங்கள். Honestly, today is indeed a momentous homecoming. I joined Loyola College after passing out from the Madras Christian College School en route to an engineering degree. It will be an understatement if I don't mention that Loyola College had a great, depending on how you look at it, parent side or the college side, had a fantastic influence on me as a boy passing out from SSLC, doing a pre-university in a college. I am today humbled that the same institution, my alma mater, is bestowing this prestigious award on me. I am truly honored. My sincere and grateful thanks to the college and the management. Thank you. Memories flood my time as I recall those days. Many may sound trivial, however, they left a deep impression on me. Whether it is the enjoyment in the Loyola College canteen, முதல் வாட்டி நான் அங்கே தான் ஆம்லெட்டே சாப்பிட்டேன். Got sick and tired of sambar and thai sadam. The French classes, which proved extremely useful to me in my business in later years, or the strict discipline enforced by Father Coyle in this very same bedroom hall on the correct usage of the English language. Everything is still vivid in my memory. Friday afternoon in those days was English composition. I can still remember Father Coyle striding up and down the same hall, saying in a loud voice, "Begin a sentence with but and it's a 4.5 fine." That was how discipline was inculcated in those days. It left a lasting impression on me. Many of the industrialists and politicians who have been through the portals of Loyola College will vouch for what I have said just now. It is a fact that this college had a fantastic and a great impact on me in my later years. ஒரு பையனா இந்த காலேஜுக்கு வந்தேன், வெளில போறச்ச ஒரு மனுஷனா போனேன், வாலிபனா போனேன். Loyola College is the only college which even in those days and even now, which maintains a very high standard of professionalism in their education curriculum. Many colleges have come up in recent years, but most of them are only commercial ventures. Loyola College has always been and will continue to be head and shoulders above all of them. You are all privileged to be studying in this great institution. As a matter of fact, my son did his BCom from this esteemed institution, and he was Loyolite of the Year when he passed out. Even as I speak of myself, this institution has been a gateway for very many leading sports persons in Tamil Nadu who went on to achieve laurels for India. Maybe the affinity to sports which this institution gave me, I picked up a tennis racket only here, just outside those two courts we used to play. It went on into in my later years as an administrator for sport. Many a leading sports person have come out of this college. Many have gone through these hallowed gates and brought laurels to the country. My interest in sport and later on association with sport as a sports administrator stemmed from here. Time has gone by since, and I can say at the end of the day, my concern was the all-round improvement of sport in the country and the welfare of sports persons. It is pertinent that I mention here on this occasion of Matru Mandir, an institution started by my wife, Dr. Sureka Ramachandran, and something which I hold very close to my heart. An institution that provides rehabilitation support for persons with Down syndrome and also offers daycare services to innumerable children, not only from India, but also from the Middle East. Mathur Mandir ensures that these persons with Down syndrome become confident and independent individuals over a period of time. And I must say that nothing is more fulfilling than seeing them come up in life. Mathur Mandir has been there for now close to 3.5 decades. And continuing this work has been the noble service of my wife and her team. Indeed, what better way can we convey to these children that we care? While the foundation was laid by Loyola College, I could not have achieved all that I did without the support of my family, especially my mother and my wife, who's here today. Both of them have stood by me like a rock through my journey in business and sport and social causes over the last 4 decades. To both of them, I owe an eternal debt of gratitude. Thank you, Rekha, for all that you have done to support me in my life. In this long journey, in sports and business, yes, recognitions did come nationally and internationally. But to be honored right here at the place from where my life started and was made, I consider that something special. For sure, this award will have a special place in my heart and to my family. To all you students who have gathered here today, Loyola College can only show you the way. It is up to you to grab it with both hands. In the Chinese script, the script for challenge and opportunity is the same. You have the opportunity today by studying in Loyola College. Take up the challenge in your life. I lost my father when I was in college. Life was tough after that. However, the time I spent here in this college stood me in good stead. The old adage that there is no substitute for hard work is what saw me through life. My only advice to all of you is to work hard, and work hard to come up in life and in this world. May this great institution continue to progress and maintain its laudable service to society like the only way it can. Thank you and a very good day to all of you. Nandri, vanakkam.
Thank you, sir, for those motivating and inspiring words, urging us to work hard, move forward, achieve things, while also showing us the way to leave no one behind. There is always a lot of things to thank for, to express gratitude and acknowledge everyone involved. I now request Dr. Melchias Gabriel, Deputy Principal, to propose the vote of thanks.
40 years and still counting. It is said, behind every successful man, there is a suffering woman. And behind every successful woman, there is a miserable man. But here we see the demonstration of God's servants complementing each other, suffering mutually to make the world a better place to live in, especially for the special children, setting a standard for all of us. When daughter Bubbly was born with Down syndrome, the mother must be petrified. Her maternal instinct gave her the courage and the conviction that her special daughter was God's carefully chosen gift for her and for her husband. Both the parents gave their best attention to the child. They took inspiration from all their struggles and decided to be the inspiration to other children and their parents with the same problem. They are living monuments indeed. Thank you, Shri Ramachandran, our illustrious alumnus, and Dr. Sureka Ramachandran for accepting our invitation to be the guest of honor today, enlightening us on your being resolute. And we thank you also for accepting this Loyola Award 2018. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Our very revered Father Francis Xavier, our beloved rector, the scientist, steward, and shepherd of Loyola campus, with a rare acumen of humility and organizational competence, who gave away the award and felicitate the gathering, and then gave a wonderful, thoughtful insight. Thank you, Father Rector. Revered Father Principal, Reverend Dr. A. Thomas, a man of few words, yet the intensity and the precision with which he dispenses the service to Loyola community. Thank you, Father, for welcoming the gathering. I also thank the members of the Jesuit community, especially Reverend Dr. Suze Sebastian, the Secretary and Correspondent of Loyola College of Education, members of our sister institutions, Liba and Lisette, the Vice Principals, especially Professor Antoine Label, Vice Principal of Shift 1, who introduced the guest to us, Vice Principal Dr. Dorothy, who emceed the function, all other Vice Principals, Deans, faculty heads and coordinators, members of the teaching fraternity and the non-teaching staff, and all my dear young students, thank you very much. Loyola College is always accompanied at every step of the way by the members of the public, the press corps, and also the Loyola Alumni Association, who have come in large numbers, especially the office bearers and the executive members. Thank you very much. I also thank the relatives of Shri Ramachandran and Dr. Sureka Ramachandran, especially the little child Bobley and their co-workers and all their associates. I wish this day will be a great day for every one of us who are gathered here. Shall I make a special request to my dear young students? Would you all stand up for 1 second and put your hands and appreciate, give an applause to baby Bobley? Would you students please stand up? Give an applause. That is great. Thank you very much.